Okay, if you're watching, let's get ready to go live. It's coming. We're about ready to go live. And let's go. All right, welcome to all. Feel like I'm really close to the screen. My head is big. So welcome to everyone here. There we go. Welcome to everyone here. If you're here, make sure you say that you're here and where you're calling in from. And if you're on the replay, make sure you say replay. This is going to be so fast today because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm hungry and somehow I wound up not eating today because I was just occupied with other things. So let's get right into it. So if you remember, today is part 2 of Nurturing the Nurturers, the power of filling your own cup, part 2. And this week's focal point is on the second part of this. Well, let me just remind you, last week, let me back up from this camera just a little bit. Last week was the sacred act of nurturing yourself. And so this week we're focusing on embracing your imperfections, embracing imperfections and seeking support. Embracing imperfections and seeking support. Sorry, I got a lot of things going on between my notebook and the phone. So you see me looking around. So embracing imperfections and seeking support. So I'm going to make 3 points about this. You know, it's like my favorite number. Take down notes. The first is embrace your superpower. And I know so many people are talking about superpower and it's almost cliche, but I want you to write that down. Embrace your superpower. When I had to write, many of you may know, I co-authored a book called What is Your Superpower? The anthology. And when I had to write that, for me, it was an experience that I suffered. I suffered when I started to write it because it was about really who I was. And it meant that I had to embrace something that I absolutely hated. So something that I hated, and I'm using the word hated. Some of you may say, oh, that's a little bit strong, but I absolutely hate it when people used to hate it when people would say to me after a presentation, oh my gosh, it was so good. I loved your energy. I've heard that from men, from women, from old, from young, from New York to California. I have heard that all my life, not all my life, but you know, anytime as an adult that I was speaking and doing presentations, and I absolutely hated it. But when I wrote this book, when I wrote my portion of this book, I had to come to terms with it, and either it's accepted or not. Like, it's who I was. So either I'm gonna roll with it or I'm gonna push it to the side and I still live with this. So now I'm living in conflict with who I am and I accepted it. So I'm looking to you. I'm looking at you, Queen. And I ask, who are you really? What is it that you're trying to cover up that it's time for you to embrace? What is it that you push to the side? It's time for you to embrace that superpower. It's actually your superpower. Maybe you're not in love with it. What is that thing that it's time for you to embrace? And I dare even say too, many of us have been through hurt. Many of us are scarred, but still it remains that it is your superpower. It is what has hewn you and molded you and created you to be you. It is, some of those things are your testimonies. For some of you, that testimony is indeed your superpower. What is it today that you're not embracing? I encourage you today to take off the filter. I encourage you today to remove the filter, to put the shame around whatever it is to the side. I encourage you to love you. Number two, create your own kitchen table. If you read the book, The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama, that was her latest book. I think it was just out last year. I just finished it a few weeks ago. But she talks about her kitchen table, and it's a kitchen table of support. It means that there are friends, maybe some family members, but it's the close group of people that she can confide in. You know, enough is enough of us trying to do things on our own. And even though I'm hearing from the mouths of many, oh, no, you know, I know we can't do this on our own, but somehow it still turns out repeatedly that many of us are trying to do this thing called life and nurture others on their own. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I am Coach Fuyanzi. I help Black women leaders make career transitions with ease, and we're having part 2 of Nurturing the Nurturers, the power of filling your own cup. And tonight is about embracing imperfections and seeking support. We're on point number 2, creating your kitchen table. Again, I have heard all of us, not all of us, I've heard so many Black women leaders just like you who are claiming that there's support, but how when it boils down to it, you're wrestling with fear, with doubt, with anxiety. You're wrestling, wondering if you're good enough. You're wrestling with imposter syndrome. You're wrestling with your confidence because you haven't created a kitchen table. So who should be at your kitchen table? I don't know, but maybe it should consist of an inner loop of friends. If you're the type of person with 1,000 friends, that's beautiful. But the inner loop of those close group of friends, they don't even have to know each other. And that's something that Michelle Obama talked about, like her kitchen table doesn't know each other. And I've never called my thing a kitchen table before, but some of mine have met each other, but they're not all friends. So you don't have to create a gang like, oh, or everyone has to get down and be down. I mean, that's great if that's the case, but this is about you right now. You're the nurturer, you're the coach, you're the teacher, you're the preacher, you're the lawyer, you're the doctor, you're the politician, you're the business owner. This right now is about you. How you keep pouring. You keep claiming that everyone needs to support. You keep saying that no man is an island, but you're doing it yourself. It's time to create your kitchen table. And by the way, sometimes your kitchen table needs to also have in it more than friends and wine. Sometimes you need professional support. That could be in the form of a counselor. That could be in the form of a therapist. It could be in the form of a coach. It could be in the form of a mentor. Create your kitchen table. Let's keep going because this thing is going to be fast because I'm so hungry. And lastly, number 3 is make self-care a non-negotiable. You're going to be nodding your heads. That's right. Yes, you'll go to the spa. Yes, you'll get your nails done. Yes, you'll get your hair done. Yes, maybe you'll even say, you know, that self-care, meditating is a part of my self-care. Yes, maybe you'll even go to your house of worship and say, that's a part of my self-care. Yes, you'll even pray and you say, that's a part of my self-care. Then why the bleep are you going to a job every day that is tearing your insides apart, but you're willing to negotiate that? Why is it that you're in a business that I guess you just feel like you're stuck in it and it's not making you happy, but you're willing to negotiate your life? If you're not happy in your business, if you're not happy in your career, that is a part of self-care. I believe that one can do things that they're passionate about. I believe that one can do things, be in areas in which they love. I believe that you can be doing what your purpose is. I hope you guys can probably hear that, but maybe it'll end. That's another app that's ringing. This is technology. Let's wait for it to be over. I hope you're soaking this in. Make self-care non-negotiable. Your daily, everyday life is a part of your self-care. If you're in these daily situations such as job and your business, and you're not, your core has already told you time to move on, but you want to stick it out, yet your discernment has told you it's time to move on. Well, then you're negotiating your self-care. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how well your nails are done, your hair is done. I don't care how, if you're going to church 5 times a week, you're still negotiating your self-care. So today was part 2 of nurturing the nurturers, the power of filling your own cup. Today, we've talked about embracing imperfections and seeking support. Number 1, embrace your superpower. Number 2, create your own kitchen table. Number 3, make self-care. We've really talked about what self-care is, a non-negotiable. Listen, if you're ready for support beyond what your wine friends and kitchen table can supply to you, then hit me up. We can sit down, strategize together how you can begin filling your own cup and making you number 1 again. That's it today. Yes, 10 minutes, a lot of points made. Leave your comments right here. If you watch this on the replay, make sure you #replay. And until we see each other again, Queen,